Hey, all. Thanks for being a part of the Vote Common Good conversation about how do we build resilience during these Trump years. It's February 2nd, Sunday, and we are just 12 days into the Trump administration. It's been disastrous from the point of the common good in this administration already. And so we're talking about what can we do to build resilience in ourselves and our communities with one another and for our nation. So thank you for being a part of this. We're doing these daily here for this first week of making these videos, and then we'll do weekly videos over the next 207 weeks of the Trump administration. Just keep remembering every day is one less day that we have to put up with the Trump administration and the kinds of policy decisions and perspective that's come. But today's piece of encouragement actually comes from my life when I was an ultra distance runner. I've been a runner for the last 15 years or so. And before my hip gave me a little bit of hold up, I was an ultra distance runner, which means running distances more than 26 miles. So I'd run 35-mile races or 50-mile races, a 100-mile race, a 24-hour run, where instead of measuring by the distance you're going to go and see how fast you can do it, you run for a set period of time. 24 hours were the ones I like to do, and see how far you can go in that distance. And there's a certain rhythm and a certain thing that you experience when you're running for 24 hours or 26 hours, those kinds of things. There's a different way you think about what you're doing when you're running. And I thought it might be a helpful way to think about how we need to pace ourselves during these Trump years. Well, when I was a distance runner, ultra distance runner, I made up these little cards on big laminated pieces of paper that I would have at my food and fuel stops. You often will have a crew. I would always have a crew that would come along. So they would have this and they would flip through it. And there were these four big reminders. One of them was presence. I am here, not ahead and not behind. I'll talk more about that one in a moment. The second one was gratefulness. It's an honor to be supported by these people, both people on my crew and the other runners. The third is patience. I am not in a hurry. I will live harmoniously in body, mind, will, and spirit. Really important in distance running that you don't feel like you're in a rush. I mean, what are you doing out here? You're running and you're not ahead of yourself or behind, no matter what the clock says. And then acceptance that in running, it's not about judgment or critique or even competition. It's one of the things I loved most about ultra distance running. Now, so many of these lessons that I was engaging in ultra distance running, I think fit life in general. So I was a big advocate for this kind of ultra distance running, but also for what we're talking about in politics. And so just want to talk a little bit about this one, presence. I'm here, I'm not ahead, and I'm not behind. There's a great Bruce Springsteen song that I like a lot called Living in the Future. And the song Living in the Future is one where the singer, Springsteen, suggests, hey, those things haven't happened yet. They may happen. You'll have to be ready for them when they do, and you will engage when they happen, but they haven't happened yet. You're still right here. That's the notion. It's a big present notion inside of Christianity to live in this moment, to live in this time, to live this day. This is the day, the psalmist would say, or give us this day our daily bread, or on this day we will live faithfully. It's calling us to this act of presence, not ahead, not behind, just here. And I think there's something really powerful for us in developing the resilience that we need. It's easy to think. In fact, I was in some conversations with people in the last couple of days about, well, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen with the tariffs that went into place yesterday? Well, now we know and we can act. We can prepare ourselves for what could be ahead, but reminding ourselves we're not there yet. We are here because this moment requires our full presence, because this moment requires our full attention, because this very moment requires from us what only this moment needs and what only we can give. We don't have to live only in the past. We can't yet live in the future. We can live right now. We can live at this time. So our encouragement today for building this resilience is What does this day have in store? And tomorrow will be a new one. And there may be things that you're called to do tomorrow that you're not called to today. So that famous prayer that Jesus is teaching his disciples, give us this day our daily bread, is this great reminder. So thanks for being a part of Vote Common Good. If you follow us on our YouTube channel, thank you. It's one of the places where it's easier to share these videos if you're up for it and willing to share them. Be sure you're with us over at votecommongood.com. And thanks for being a part of all this good work. And thanks for caring about the common good and for making it possible for all of us to pursue something better than just our own self-interests. So find a way, if you would, to love yourself and to love one another.